Overthinking can be one of the most uncomfortable things to deal with when you struggle with anxiety and high functioning anxiety. The feeling that your brain doesn't shut up, overanalyzing every little thing, always thinking of the what ifs and the future. If this sounds like you, then this episode is perfect for you. In this episode, I will be sharing my top tips for what to do when you just can't stop overthinking everything. Welcome to Calmly Coping. My name is Tati, and I am a licensed therapist and a high-functioning anxiety coach. I specialize in helping high achievers overcome high-functioning anxiety so they can finally stop overthinking everything. If this topic interests you, then please subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Overthinking things is the number one struggle I hear from my audience. Here are some examples of those struggles. Overthinking every tiny little thing in every conversation, but no one else having any idea that I do this. Overthinking everything. Can't concentrate on my research papers. Turning off my brain when I am supposed to be relaxing. I am constantly going over all the details of my day and how to improve and prepare for the next day. My brain just doesn't turn off. I can't settle down. My mind is racing and I have anticipatory anxiety. If any of these sound like you, then know that you're not alone. Overthinking can be so overwhelming and frustrating because it can feel as though you have no escape. That's because you can escape anything except for yourself and your own mind. Keep tuning in to learn more about what to do when you can't stop overthinking everything, so you won't always feel the need and the urge to escape yourself. The definition of overthinking is when you think about something too much or for too long. So why does it happen? Is there a function or a purpose to it? There are two directions that your overthinking can go. Thinking too much about something that happened in the past, or thinking too much about a decision or something that might happen in the future. Overthinking about the past can be topics such as how you appeared in a social situation, such as, I shouldn't have said that, or what do they think of me now? It can also include thinking a lot about past regrets, traumas, or other difficult experiences from your past. Typically, overthinking about the past can result in increased feelings of sadness and depression. Overthinking about the future can come from a place of fear and can result in anxiety. So you might overthink a decision you have to make or worry about the worst case scenario in something you have to do coming up, like a job interview, a presentation, or a difficult conversation. Overthinking can give you a false sense of control because it feels as though you are mentally problem solving and preparing for the future, but it's a lie. Overthinking, especially when it's negative, only results in you feeling worse and potentially blowing the negative out of proportion. You might overthink things for the following reasons: stressors in your life, anticipatory anxiety, which I have another podcast episode about that I will link in the show notes and in the description, fear, which can lead to anxiety, or insecurity or self-doubt. And these are just some reasons why you might overthink. It's not comprehensive. So next, I'm going to discuss what to do when you can't stop overthinking everything. But first, I want to announce my free challenge coming up on how to cultivate calm from within. This is a 3-day challenge that is taking place from September 15th through September 17th, 2021. In this challenge, I will teach you how to cultivate a positive mindset, healthy habits and routines, and setting healthy boundaries so that you can learn how to feel calm from within and stop overthinking everything and constantly doubting yourself. You can learn more and register for free by going to calmlycoping.com/calm challenge. And now back to the episode. So what can you do when you can't stop overthinking everything? Step number 1 is to practice mindfulness. And I know you've probably heard this a million times before, or you've tried to meditate or practice mindfulness and you feel like your mind is just too busy or it doesn't work for you. And that's just not the case because everybody's mind is like that. And the idea of mindfulness is just practicing present moment awareness non-judgmentally. It's not that you need to sit and clear your mind completely or have no thoughts, because that's impossible, because the human mind thinks. It's more about having an awareness of the thoughts that are coming up so you don't get sucked into these downward spirals of continuing to overthink things, and you're able to catch and stop yourself before things get worse. So one of the 7 attitudes of mindfulness is acceptance. Acceptance of the present moment and what is happening right now. So I want to make one important clarification. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It doesn't mean that you're happy with what is happening or that you're just going to be apathetic to your reality. Acceptance means allowing what is happening right now to happen without judgment and without resistance. When you resist the present by trying to stop overthinking or by trying to judge yourself for overthinking, this creates more negative emotions and difficulty. So no, you can't just try to stop overthinking things. Long story short is that you're just making things worse for yourself and piling on more difficult emotions and negative thoughts when you judge and resist your reality of overthinking. Acceptance equals allowing, which is an important component to help you stop overthinking. It seems counterintuitive, but I promise it works. Step number 2 is to be with the discomfort. And this is probably the last thing you want to hear, right? Who wants to feel uncomfortable and sit with their difficult emotions and negative thoughts? But what if I told you that avoiding your difficult emotions and negative thoughts is what got you here in the first place? That it's what led to your overthinking? That's because your emotions are powerful signals that drive your mind and body to take action. When you continually avoid and suppress your emotions, then this results in increased stress, anxiety, and more difficult emotions, which results in more overthinking. Your mind craves the positive emotions that come from instant gratification, like watching the exact movie that you want to see right now on Netflix, getting dopamine-inducing notifications on your phone, or something like having a nice sugary snack. Ultimately, choosing instant gratification means that you're choosing short-term pleasure over long-term happiness. And it is absolutely essential to acknowledge and feel your difficult emotions in order to process them and to feel better in the long run. When you don't process your emotions fully, this results in emotional buildup. And these below the surface emotions create the perfect breeding ground for overthinking. So in these moments, I want you to do 2 things. Number 1 is to label any emotions that you're currently feeling so that you're not constantly seeking instant gratification and ignoring these difficult emotions. So some examples, I feel anxious, insecure, nervous, worried, or sad. And as a bonus, you can journal about how you're feeling right now and why. This can be really powerful, and I want you to view this as a brain dump of your thoughts. Simply labeling your emotions, studies actually show that this results in deactivation in the amygdala, which is the emotion portion of your brain. And so what this means is that by labeling your emotion, you're bringing awareness to the emotion and you're also decreasing its intensity. Now, when you do label an emotion, you might notice that you start to feel it more, but that's just because you're noticing and acknowledging it. And that's really all our emotions want, is to be noticed. So when you're able to label them, that can help you to stop that cycle of overthinking, because you're not just continuing to suppress those emotions that you're feeling under the surface. I love using the mood tracking app Daylio. That's Daylio. You can get it for free, and it just allows you to do a daily check-in of how you're feeling. You rate your mood from bad to really good, and you can also identify any activities that are influencing your mood. And then there's a space for notes. And to me, this is the most important and powerful space. So when you identify the activities, you can bring awareness to maybe what your triggers are or to what's influencing your mood in the moment. But when you really write out and get out what's on your mind and what's influencing your emotions, that can be really powerful and maybe can allow you to address things that you might be ignoring that might be having an impact on how you're feeling in your day-to-day. And you can also just use the notes section of your phone or a journal to do the same thing. And number 2 is that I want you to feel your emotions physically. I mentioned before, when you label your emotions, this might bring up more of those sensations of the emotion. And if this occurs, then it's important to feel this emotion if you're in a place where you feel safe and comfortable to do so. That's because emotions are stored physically in the body. Sometimes emotional buildup can result in tears and crying, and sometimes it can result in muscle tension, let's say in your upper back, in your hips, in your face. There can be a lot of different places where emotions can show up. They can also show up as tension on your chest. Sometimes anxiety can feel like a weight on your chest or difficulty breathing. So feel whatever is coming up for you in the moment without trying to make it go away. So you're practicing that concept of accepting what's in the moment. And this is going to, again, prevent you from resisting what is, which just creates more difficult emotions and more tension. When you allow what is to be, that allows you to process and move through it rather than trying to constantly push it away and ignore it. Step number 3 is to listen to yourself. So it's important to assess, are you overthinking because of a certain difficult decision, because of fear, or because of something in your gut or your intuition that is really important to you? So it's important to assess this because when you're grounded in fear, worry, what ifs, and the worst case scenario, then it's important to be skeptical of your thoughts. Ask yourself, are they helping you right now, or are they just trying to keep you safe and prepare you for the worst? The thing is that anxious thoughts can be lying to you, and in those moments, I find it extremely helpful to ask yourself this one question. Is this helpful? Are these thoughts helping you right now, or are they just causing you to feel more worried and stressed and anxious? If the situation's that you're making a difficult decision or anticipating something coming up that you just can't stop thinking about, then again, ask yourself, is this helpful? If you cannot take action in the present moment, and you're not actively planning or deciding things and these thoughts are coming up throughout your day, then they are not helping you. You don't need to constantly plan and problem solve things at multiple moments throughout your day. Set aside a time where you are specifically planning and preparing, and then let go of it outside of that time. And I'm going to discuss that in step 4. But lastly, if this is your inner voice, that intuition or that gut feeling you might have in your stomach or your chest, wherever you might feel it, telling you to do something like stand up for yourself, quit your job, profess your love for this person, just do this thing, then this might be that internal feeling of your gut that is that desire of what you really want in life. It's that internal voice within you that guides you towards making decisions that are in line with your core values. Those are the things that are important to you. So ask yourself, is this something that is important to you? Do you keep overthinking this because you're avoiding doing something that you really want to do? These questions can help you get to the intentions underneath your thoughts. Is it fear or is it desire? So I think it's important to bring awareness to that dichotomy and that difference. Are these thoughts coming from a place of fear? Are they coming from a place of desire? Is it a little bit of both? And really understanding when it's fear, it's important to challenge and question your thoughts because they're probably not helping you, and it could just be your mind trying to keep you safe. If it's desire, then maybe you're avoiding things because of fear or because of uncertainty. And so maybe it's something that you really want to move forward with, and it's because it's important to you or you find value in it. And then it's important to assess and determine how you can take steps to move closer to that goal or taking action in that one way, which brings us to step 4, which is to take action or let go. So taking action can help massively if you're avoiding something that you're afraid of. So just call that person that you're avoiding, check that task that you really don't want to do off of your to-do list, or plan for that presentation coming up, whatever it is. When you take action, it really helps you to face your fear, which is often followed by a feeling of relief. Taking action can also help you stop overthinking, especially when you're avoiding something. And if you can't take action or you're overthinking something in the future, like when you have the Sunday scaries before the work week begins, then practice letting go. Letting go is an art, and it takes time to become an automatic skill, but it is totally possible. So tell yourself and practice this positive self-talk that there is nothing you can do about this right now, so you're going to choose to focus on something else. and then focus on something else. Choose a healthy distraction like going for a walk, watching your favorite TV show, engaging in a hobby, spending time with friends and family, or anything that will put you in the present moment and bring you joy. Now I talked about why you're overthinking things and my 4 tips for how to stop overthinking. Your action tip is to take these tips I've shared and put them into action because nothing changes if you don't change. Practice listening to yourself rather than avoiding what your mind and body are trying to tell you. And remember that this is a practice and that it takes time and consistency to fully integrate these tips into your life. And I have amazing news if you're looking for support with implementing these tips. This is the exact topic I'm going to walk you through in the first monthly training for my new Calm and Ambitious community membership. This is an exclusive community to help high achievers with high functioning anxiety be ambitious and high achieving on the outside while feeling calm and grounded on the inside. Each month, I will release a brand new training bundle with short yet mighty and actionable trainings and a workbook to help you integrate the concepts. You will also have access to a private community that is working with the exercises with you and a live monthly call to ask any questions that might come up. If you're catching this when it's first released in September 2021 or anytime in the future, you will still have access to this training. Learn more and how you can join the waitlist at calmandambitious.com. I will also leave the link in the description. I'd love to hear your thoughts on overthinking. Leave me a comment below letting me know your thoughts. And if you found this podcast episode helpful, I have other episodes on decreasing anxiety, adopting a healthy mindset, and managing your time and energy. So be sure to check out these episodes right here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, be calm.